when you're looking at the headlines, there's a lot of guys like, oh, I told you Nvidia was going to crash. Well, be careful with that because it's just a correction right now. The stock was very overbought, and there's still a lot of speculative action in the markets right now. So I would expect this stock to start getting bought here sometime soon. Here's what you need to know before the bell. So lots of headlines out yesterday about Nvidia, right? Because Nvidia is the darling of Wall Street. It's had a huge run, split 10 for 1, heading into the end of the month. And the stocks dropped by 13% in 3 days. And the headlines are all over the place, like Nvidia stock drops 13%. Oh my gosh, it's the beginning of the great crash. No, just slow down. So first of all, the stocks had a huge run and it split 10 for 1. So all of a sudden, and we had this problem with our portfolios as well, is that when Nvidia was trading close to $1,000 a share, and so if you have a really small account, say $100,000, right, or 50, let's say you've got an account that's $50,000 and you want to buy 1% of your account into Nvidia. Well, you will have to buy one share, which is $1,000. Well, in a $50,000 account, that's a 2% position, right? Well, if you want to sell it to reduce you can't reduce your position. You can either sell it and be out of it altogether, or you've got to have 2% versus 1%, which was your target, right? So this is the problem with small accounts and big dollar value stocks, is that risk management portion of that. Well, mutual funds, pension funds, etc., when the stock split, now they have a tremendous number of shares and much more liquidity. So now if I want to rebalance by a fraction, I want to go from 2.5% to 2.25% of my portfolio, whatever it is, I can just sell a few shares now. So again, not surprising as we're entering into the end of the month. Now this is quarter end rebalancing for a lot of these mutual funds, hedge funds, everybody else that owns these stocks. So first of all, Nvidia was extremely deviated from its long-term moving average. It was extremely overbought here. Now, again, not surprising, you're going to get some profit taking, but also going into the end of the quarter, a lot of managers were now overweight their position in Nvidia, had liquidity now because of the stock split, and so not surprising they're taking some profits here. So again, this should not be surprising at all that you're getting a bit of a correction in the stock. Look, Nvidia is triggering a sell signal right now from a fairly high level that suggests that we could see a bit more of a drop down to probably around $100 a share. Would not be outside the realm of possibility for a correction in Nvidia. It won't go straight down there most likely. Likely you're going to get a bounce, and then you'll take out this recent low and then go lower. We'll see what happens. But again, not surprising you're getting some selling pressure here in the stock. Extreme deviation from the 200-day moving average. Stock is worked off most of that really overbought condition. So again, I'd kind of expect a bounce. You're going to get some buyers stepping in here to try to buy the dip, so to speak. It's like, oh, I haven't been able to get into Nvidia. I'm now going to get a shot at it. I think you get a rally, you get a lower high, come down, retest these lows, maybe come down and retest this 50-day moving average. That's not uncommon. We did this back previously in March. Stock was pretty elevated, came down, actually took out the 50-day, kind of based around a bit, and then took off for its next run. But that's been really kind of a regular case for Nvidia now for a while. But this deviation got so large, you had to correct it. So again, when you're looking at the headlines, there's a lot of guys like, oh, I told you Nvidia was going to crash. Well, be careful with that because it's just a correction right now. The stock was very overbought, and there's still a lot of speculative action in the markets right now. So I would expect this stock to start getting bought here sometime soon. Get a bit of a reflexive rally. Sell into that. If you want to sell some, reduce your position a bit. We'll probably do the same thing, and then let the stock correct, get oversold, and then you'll have your next entry position for it for the next run when we get there. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.